So you wake up, you're getting ready for work, or maybe you're getting ready to do some business. Maybe you're getting ready to cook some food and get the kids ready for school. Here's a thought, an idea I want to put on your mind. Are you settling right now? Or do you really feel like you're living for more? I find that a lot of people are just settling for life. They don't really believe in themselves to live an extraordinary life or to start doing things that they admire about others. Like, here's the thing. I heard someone say this, and this will spark this conversation with me and myself. But I heard someone say, I'm living to make sure me and mines are good. Make sure my kids are good. And to make sure they're good. And I asked this person, well, what does your kids being good mean? How do you know that you're living in a way to make sure your kids are good? Because I think everything is perspective, right? And that's what I came to think about. Because here's the thing. Do you feel that, like, when you really think about it, do you feel your parents have made sure you're good? And when will you know you've done enough or you worked enough to make sure your kids are good? What does that mean? Is it saying that I want to make sure that they have enough money for college? Is it saying I want to make sure they have don't have to worry about food? Are you saying that, by the time that they're ready to leave the house, that maybe they can start their own business? Well, what does good mean? Because it's so general. I think, most people say that, but they don't really know exactly. They don't have an exact image or vision of what that means. It's kind of just, I feel like a retreat just to say, like, I'm just going to spend all my time being busy and taking care of the bills and making sure my kids are good, that don't bother me with anything else. But here's the thing. I think that's another way of living in fear, actually. Because I think good is the enemy of best. Why make sure your kids are good when you can make sure they're the best? They're impeccable. They're phenomenal. How could you do that? Living your best life, as they say. But when I say living your best life, I'm saying that every day you live in a growth mindset. That every day you can get better than what you were yesterday. The best achievement that you had was only the start of the achievements that are yet to come. Like, why don't you live in a way that by the time they turn 13, 14, 15, 16, they could outshine anything you've ever done in your entire life? Where financially they could start businesses and by the time of 18 never even have to work again a day after 18 if they wanted. You can teach them so much. I'm talking about businesses, stuff they can learn in books, different languages that you can teach your kid. Is that good to you, or is that beyond good? Is that best? See, I think that most people get this arrogance about them, get this ego that they've arrived, that they're afraid to ask people for any type of advice, any information, and not just anybody, because I think a lot of people take advice from the wrong people, but they don't seek out people that have already been where they want to be. Like, if you want to be a nurse, it makes sense to go talk to a nurse that's been pursuing nursing. That's an actual nurse that loves to be a nurse, that went through everything they need to do, and you have a conversation with that nurse. Hey, look, I'm inspired to be a nurse. I'm not a nurse yet. What's the good, the bad, the ugly? What do I have to, look forward to? What's the steps to becoming? And in that way, you can kind of like, what to do already to become a nurse. And here's the second thing. I feel like most people just live in a way where they set so small goals, they hit those goals, and then that's why they're not really where they want to be in life, because they settle, and they just settle for less. Like, I was talking to someone, and the thing was, they said, when do average people in the U.S. start pretty much working, right? To that point where they're working toward whatever career field or, with jobs. And that was the age of 30. So that means if you're working from 30 and retiring on average age of 65, you got a good 30 working years in you of whatever that you're doing for your primary profession, business, and stuff like that. So that means if you're at the age of 40, you only work 10 years of your 30 years. That means you're just getting started pretty much. You're not even halfway. So if you feel like you're 35, 40, and you're like, dang, I feel like I'm not nowhere in life, you're only halfway through your working years, statistically speaking. So you gotta let go of that limiting thought over your mind of you're getting old and can't do nothing. You gotta kind of forgive yourself and take another step forward and try again and just do something. A lot of people have goals of just knocking out laundry, and celebrating weekends, and just living for the Friday. Mondays, they're going to jobs that they hate. They living in quiet desperation. They're going in traffic. They're getting upset for the littlest thing. Someone cussed them off. They want to fight. Someone cracks a joke. They want to kill. It's so much hate, so much frustration, so much quiet desperation. You can let all that stuff go. And a lot of times people just don't want to grow. A lot of times it's the frustration of staying stagnant when they could learn some education, to me, which doesn't start at school. It starts when you finish. Whenever you finish school, that's when the education starts. And I think it's a lifelong journey. But what I would tell people is set a goal so big that you have no possible way that you could think that you could ever do it, that you have to lean on someone else's understanding, that you have to consult with God on how to get these goals. Because to me, if you have any type of problem that man can solve, that another person can solve, that's not a real problem. It's not a real issue. That's minuscule, that's minute, that is small. When you got a problem that you can't figure out at all, but you're going to have to get on those knees, pray to whatever God that you believe in. Oh, see, now you got something that's bigger. So when you start having these goals, so when you start thinking bigger, setting a bigger picture for you, big goals, things that you want to do, here's what I say. Do you need faith or do you need belief? See, faith is having a vision for something that hasn't yet to pass, but believing that it will come. It's so with faith, you have to see it in your mindset before it actually happens. It's something that's never been done because it's faith. It's like, I'm believing for this to happen even though it's never been done. I know I can do this. I know my friends can do that. I know my family can do that. I know you can do this. But see, when you got belief, it's different than faith. So belief is saying, see, I saw them do it. So if they can do it, I can do it because it's been done. So belief is just now, it's a conversation with you and you. That's when it comes to, do you think that you can do that? Whatever it is that you want to do in life. Well, let's say it's a millionaire. I think it's great for people to set goals to become a millionaire because of not the money aspect, not the financial aspect, but the person that you have to become a millionaire. Like, posers get found out. People that want to sneak, steal, rob, kill, slander, scam, people that want to do the most dishonest things to get ahead in life, it comes back and bite them in the butt, right? But when you're living and you're really trying to put a honest foot forward and you have a goal to become a millionaire, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to change some of the relationships up. You're going to have to change the way you're talking. You're going to have to change some of the things that you thinking, the thoughts in your mind. You're going to have to start reading different books. You're going to have to spend less time with that TV, less time with those games. Less time with time wasters. You're going to have to start realize sometimes you're not spending time, you're really investing time. You're going to have to start investing your time where it can help you grow, where it's moving you towards those goals. You're going to have to start just letting go of that ego, that pride, and start understanding that none of us is as strong as all of us, and that teamwork is dream work. That when you start connecting with other people, that's when things get better. When you start connecting with other people that can help you grow, people that fan your flames, as Will Smith said. See, there was a story, right? And it was this man, and he was given, I think the doctors gave him 6 months to live. and he was just, he was just distraught. He was just feeling so bad. And the doctor said, listen, you got 6 weeks to, was it 6 months or 6 weeks? I think they told him he had 6 months to live. And one of the things the dude said was, here's what he went to this like medicine doctor that was out of the country, and he says, listen, you got 6 months to live, but here's what I'll do. I'll give you all my life's possessions. And this dude was like a billionaire, right? He said, you can take these cards, use them, but here's what's going to happen. In exchange for this, you can live like a king, right? And he said, now you can live like a king, but here's what I'll need you to do. Because the dude was just pissed. He had 6 months to live, but he was one of those people where he never really had goals for his life. He never really cared about his life or anything. He just was always miserable. So the guy said, listen, if you got 6 months to live and you're always miserable, how about I do this? I'll give you my credit cards, give you this. I'm loaded. Live like a king. But here's what I need you to do. There's a volcano, and in 2 weeks, I need you to sacrifice your life because you don't love your life anyway. I'll let you live like a king, and in 2 weeks, you can die like a king and know that your sacrifice will go to let everybody on this island live. And the guy thought about it, and he said, okay, you know what? I'll do it. And he said, all right, fine. And the guy went out and he started living. And see, when you start living your life, you're not going to care about those bills that you need to pay, or you got 2 weeks to live. You're not worried about who pissed you off in traffic because you got some things that you need to go do. It's some activities that you want to go do. It's some memories that you want to create. Some things that you always wanted to buy. It was this, you will go talk to people and ask them out on those dates that you've been scared to talk to. Like, you're not worried about the rejection at this point. You got 2 weeks. You're going to sit there and you're going to just talk to everybody. You're going to figure out who the one. So the thing was, the man, he went and he lived his life. But here's what happened. After the 2 weeks, he went to that volcano. And he actually got married and everything. It was crazy. And so he said, well, this is it. And he jumped in the volcano. But you know what the crazy part is? The volcano spit him back out. And he survived. And now here's the thing. After that day, his life was never the same. He chose to live in a way to be empowering every single day and just to grow better. And he saw purpose again with his life. And see, that's the point of the story is once you give up your life, you get your life back. So give up who you are today to become who you can be tomorrow. And see, instead of just waiting for something bad to happen, instead of waiting for, a catastrophic event or, when people die, that's when, oh man, they're such a good person. And, imagine if you died today, the story that people would tell about you. Like, what would you want people to say if you died? Like, what would you want to be known for? What's on that tombstone? How would they depict you as? Whoever that person is, start living like that today. So today's message is just think bigger. Set big goals. Set big dreams. Don't let good be the enemy of your best. And set goals so big that you don't have no idea of how you could accomplish it. Because even if you shoot for the sun, if they say you shoot for the stars, you might land on the moon. But if you shoot for next week, you'll land at tomorrow. So what are you really aiming for? Sometimes you might have to listen to other people's belief in yourself until you can actually develop some belief in yourself. So start hanging with people that think bigger than you, that have bigger dreams, bigger goals, because what happened is that'll get on you. That essence will get on you, that aroma, it'll get on you. Like, you can't be a loving person and be given love so much with and be around that type of environment without sprinkling some everywhere that you're at. So when you start being around people that, are just loving and empowering and so happy and joyful, that stuff will rub off on you. So just be a blessing to other people. So understanding just, service to many leads to greatness. And just be your best self. Whatever that is, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough.